Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. We have a tornado warning issued for areas just south, pardon me, of the FM area. A lot of folks getting ready for graduation parties, a lot of things going on in the FM area tonight. Here's the storm. It's out by Oxbow. This one has witnessed or observed funnel cloud and tornado. So here are the details of the warning. It is in effect for portions of southern and western Clay County, Cass County, as well as parts of Richland County. At this point, it's not Fargo proper or Moorhead proper. We'll keep our eyes on this storm. It's moving to the northeast, 25 miles per hour. And again, expect that this storm is going to be making its way into this area. I'm going to cover this live until we are through the system, and we'll keep you updated. Here's a look. You can kind of see this backward C shape in this area right here, not far from Oxbow. So that is likely where we have things going on. Let's take a look at the velocity display right now. As we take a look, that system with the rotation showing up right here near Oxbow. So that is where that rotation is at this time. If you are in Comstock, if you are in Oxbow, seek shelter and the lowest floor of a sturdy structure. So we have an observed tornado that was on the ground, and I'm looking here from the National Weather Service, and there is a picture of a funnel cloud out there, and there could be some circulation making contact with the ground. It's hard to tell. But the bottom line is there's a nasty funnel cloud out there. This is working its way right into and toward the Oxbow area right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the movement of the storm system as it's worked its way into parts of southern Cass County right now, and it's right over the Red River Valley where we see the greens and the reds next to each other. And again, the National Weather Service having that movement with this storm to the north and east. It says 25 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and time the rotation for you and get a feel for you as far as where it's going to be and when. Sirens going off in Fargo, Heather, thank you. I heard them here in Moorhead as well. In fact, getting ready for graduation at Moorhead High School. My youngest kid is graduating, and here we sit with a tornado warning. Now, here is a look at the movement of this storm. We'll go ahead and track where it is. The rotating part of the storm is right here. And as we take a look at the way the crow flies, this is heading right towards you in Sabin. So in Sabin, that rotating part of the storm is 11.9 miles away from you. 11.9 miles. So again, the best thing to keep in mind when tornado warnings come out, and kids, if you're home alone, in fact, my youngest kid just called and said, my phone says we have a tornado and it's emergency. Dad, what do we do? Here's what you need to do. You need to find shelter in a sturdy structure. So get out of things like manufactured homes, mobile homes, a camper, RV, not a safe place to be. You have time to seek shelter. Now, if you're in Oxbow, this rotating part of the storm is right over you. Kim says, remind me, how do I find the stars so we can send for you? Kim, we'll get to you with that a little bit later. You can search stars on Facebook. I sure appreciate that, and I appreciate all your support. John, going to Moorhead graduation tonight too. I'll see you there, buddy. Thank you so much. Again, do you think it's going to affect South Moorhead, Annette? It looks like Sabin is more in the track of this system, the way it's looking. See this line here that's making its way? This is the direction of movement. It's heading right towards Oxbow. This green and red right here, that is the rotation being picked up by the Doppler radar. It's south of Frontier. I'll show you how far south of Frontier it is here. Let me measure that for you. It's 7.5 miles straight south of Frontier. And at Sabin, again, a look at the latest scan, about 11 miles from you in Sabin. This is how long it will take to get to you. It's making its way to the north and east. It's moving at about 25 miles per hour. I'm going to factor in about 28 to 29 miles per hour. It's not because Hutch isn't paying attention. It's because there's broadcast time in between when I'm saying this and when you, and I'd rather have you ready just a little early. So, and these storms can speed up or slow down. Rustad within 12 minutes, Sabin within about 20 to 25 minutes towards you. Add to the clock up here, 309 plus 20 minutes. That's 329, or right at 3:30, it should be moving in towards the Sabin area. Oh, we got the newest scan in. I'm going to clear this. Glendon, it's moving towards you, 37 miles away, 37 minutes away, rather, from you. Here is a look at that rotating part of the storm. It's where the greens and the reds are right next to each other. And again, we're going to do 28 miles per hour, a little bit faster, what the estimate is by the National Weather Service. Sabin, 23 minutes from now. So add 23 minutes to that. And basically, you're looking at about 3:33. KR, thank you so very much, Kim. Good to have you on board. So again, anything going to happen in Fergus Falls? Let's take a look at the reflectivity. I'll show you what's going on. Again, Oxbow, this storm is right next to you. Let's see if there's any other signatures showing up with this system, picking up anything with regards. So there is a tornado report here just south of Kindred. Here's the tornado report, 3 miles southeast of Kindred. In Richland County is where this thing was observed. Broadcast media was reporting that tornado was on the ground. I saw the picture myself, and it was difficult to see the debris on the ground, but the funnel cloud was crystal clear. So we have a rotating thunderstorm picked up. Pretty weak rotation on this, but it's far away from the radar site. Look at the line of storms. We have Mayville. You got storms moving towards you and up towards Hillsboro. I want to give you a little bit of word of encouragement here. I will look at these right now and show you if there's any circulation with these. We do have some greens next to some reds right here near Hunter. Let me loop that a little bit. Yes. So that storm that's just to the north of Hunter does have a little bit of rotation with it as well. That's the storm relative velocity. It's taking into account the storm motion as it's making its way through. And look at this one here. So these storms are spinning as they make their way across the region. That doesn't mean they're all going to make a tornado, but what it does mean is there'll be a chance for some funnels, and we could get some brief touchdowns from these, and an active tornado warning right now, an observed tornado. Hail is a possibility. 3/4 inch diameter hail is possible from the storm as well. So let's go back to the radar data, and let's go to the reflectivity. And on this storm, as we make our way through, again, if you're in Fargo, if you're in Moorhead, this is moving right towards Sabin at this time. So it's not necessarily making its way right towards Fargo, and that's good. It looks like something's going on with my radar program here. Let me see if I can reload the radar set. I'm going to just go to a different product and turn this right back on. Sorry about that. My computer woke up. I'm decorating the garage for a party. It's been raining. I got to tell you, I was not expecting tornado warnings today. This is how weather around here can be sometimes something that we have to really watch for. Okay, there, I finally got that cleared. Showers and thunderstorms, and some of these storms showing signs of rotation. Look at the hail core here near the Mayville area as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I got coffee. Thanks, Amber. All right. Yeah, we have right in the neighborhood of Mayville, we have a storm making its way in there. These extend down towards Blanchard, and we also have the Greenfield area and Hunter. And you see this Hunter storm here, how it's got this little horseshoe on it here? Those are oftentimes the signatures that we see on radar when there's a sign of rotation. So what I will do, put your eyeballs on that spot where there's that horseshoe, and we're going to look and see if there's greens next to red on the velocity display. We do have a little bit. It's very weak, but it's right here where the cursor is pointing, right here. Greens and reds, very weak. There's stronger rotation picking up here, north of Hunter, just north of Hunter. So don't go out there. Where does the tornado warning expire? Let's go back to the tornado warning that we know we have. But again, these storms all the way up to Hunter, Greenfield, heading towards Grandin, all moving in this northeast fashion, are on their way through. It does look like the National Weather Service has canceled this warning. I'm going to double check that. Let me double check that with my link. Whoa, that's a pretty big looking funnel there. I'm looking at that was posted by the National Weather Service. So yeah, that's a pretty significant storm there. If you have photos, if you have pictures of what's going on with this particular system, feel free to throw those in here. I looked for you as soon as the sirens went off. I'll tell you what, I'm running in here. I'm decorating for my kid's graduation tonight. He graduates here in just a little bit at Moorhead High. Many of you probably doing the same thing. It does look like to me that the tornado warning is no longer visible on here, and I am going to verify that tornado warning has been canceled. I don't see that yet from the National Weather Service. The tornado warning was, let's see, I'm looking at the text of it. It was until 3:15. It is now 3:15. It is expired. So the tornado warning is now expired. What is this storm doing? So this storm still has a little bit of green next to the red. It's just north of Oxbow. Let's loop it so you can see right here as it worked its way through. Let's go back just a little bit further. I've only got about 7 frames of data. We'll go back to where the tornado was first sighted down there, where you see the little tornado red icon on there. And let's go back. Let it load up here. Okay, here we go. It's still thinking. All right. So as we take a look at this system working its way to the north and east, there's still a little bit of rotation with it. And these storms are making their way towards Sabin right now. It does look like the spin in this is a little bit weaker than it was, although it's still present. We still see some greens next to the reds out there. And I'm certain that as far as our reports are going, I'm looking over here at my screen for the National Weather Service here so I can stay in contact with them. And it does look like all is quiet with regards to reports there. Pardon me while I take a look at this. Reading through. South of Kindred. Okay, so that's where the tornado was observed to have touched down. Where you see the little red dot right here by my hand, that's where it touched down. That was in northern Richland County. As far as Kindred goes, here's a look at Kindred on the map and how far away was that. Let's go ahead and take a look. It was just southeast of Kindred by 2.4 miles, and that's where the tornado touchdown was reported. As it's worked its way off towards Oxbow now, we do not see the circulation as strong. It's still there. There's still a few greens next to the reds, but we'll continue to watch these storms very closely. So we got another batch of showers and storms making their way through. This area of outflow right here near Hunter, that's from a thunderstorm. That one is, let me see where the radar is, straight south. So there is some weak rotation and shear with this storm that's moving by the Hunter area just to your north right now. Again, so as these storms approach, just know that they're in a little bit of an environment here with some spin. So we take a look at the big picture. Let's go to this radar up here, and we'll be able to see more widespread rain than just from the rain right around Fargo. We have active flood warnings for the Red River near Wahpeton, Breckenridge, Fargo, Moorhead. It looks like the Glendon, Dilworth, Cragness area. This must be for the Buffalo River near Dilworth. Yeah, 15 feet. So essentially, we do have flood warnings. We have another batch of thunderstorms coming through, and look at the swirl of weather working its way into our area. If I loop this for you over the last hour or so, we'll go ahead and go back an hour. You're going to see that there's this other batch of rain making its way through and thunderstorms, but this is a counterclockwise rotation around an area of low pressure. We got that brief period of sunshine, folks, here in the valley, and that brief period of sunshine was enough, and you can see it here on the visible satellite loop, to destabilize the atmosphere just a bit. So that little crack in the clouds that's moving into parts of west central north Minnesota right now was enough to heat up the atmosphere to give us enough lift to allow the spin that was in the atmosphere to, produce a brief touchdown of a tornado out there just south of Kindred. So this activity is likely to continue with the thunderstorm activity as it makes its way into portions of Minnesota. So there's that sharper line of thunder shower, thunderstorm activity pushing its way toward the Red River Valley south of Grand Forks. And that is it. So here's what Hutch is going to do. I'm leaving the radar on. I'm going to stay live for just a second here, and then I'm going to come on back, but I need to go get some information off my printer. So I'm going to put you on mute. So that's why you have no audio, and I will be back. Let me check questions here first and foremost. Mandy, thank you for watching. Jessica, thanks for your viewing of the report as well. Roxanne says 2.5 inches just south of Edmore today. Thank you so much. Colleen, thank you. Here's a look at rainfall reports as well as we go through. I can go load that up here real quick. And we'll make this Hutch's weather update for the evening here. And I will go through the hour-by-hour forecast here in just one moment. So here's a look at the 2-day rain total from my friends over at the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. This is, again, the 2-day rain total. So let me pull up here. Got to get to the desktop. It's kind of nice. I can just pull things up right here for you. and go right here, and here it is. Okay, so this is a rainfall report from the North Dakota Agricultural Network. Holy smokes! Holy buckets of water. Look at Clay County, anywhere between 1.5 and 2.5 inches of rain here across Cass County, Clay County, 1.5 inches of rain. We have some significant rain. The tornado warning has been canceled and expired. So letting folks around the household know here what's going on. I got to tell you, though, look at the Devil's Lake Basin, 3.73 inches of rain there the last 2 days. So there's been buckets and buckets of water coming in. This is Benson County, Ramsey County, up towards Grand Forks, 1.75 inches of wet goodness out there. Just soggy rain. Walking in the yard today trying to get ready for this graduation party. It's very rainy. Thank you so much for your reports. Let's look at the hour-by-hour forecasts for you. And if you have a question, let me know what you got here. And you're welcome. I'm glad I could be here for you. And I'll be totally honest, I'll look you squarely in the eyes while I'm saying this. I was not expecting a real big risk of tornadoes today. I can't say that it's not impossible with an area of low pressure moving through. It was that brief period of sunshine that we got where things just really got warm and humid out there. And that was enough to destabilize the atmosphere. Cheryl, thank you. Watching from Natowash. High Natowash, puddles and four-wheel driving and the mud everywhere. Thank you for your report. And there's another heavy batch of rain coming through. What you see making its way over the Jamestown area now, I'll put this radar back up here for you, and I'll get my pencil out here. Okay, Hutch's pencil, that's all you need, right? Here it is. Showers of rain, Stutzman County, Carrington, that's just light garden variety showers and gusty north winds. Our wind is going to be picked up and picking up here in the valley as we go through. This area here, right here, is associated with this warm front that has developed because of that brief peak of sunshine that made its way down. So as this moves northeast, there is a little spin or shear in the atmosphere just because of the change of wind direction as we go up through the atmosphere today, the way this storm system is. So we're getting some areas with some southeast and east winds that are clashing with some northwest winds aloft. That's all we need. If we get enough of a rising motion of air through that shear, you spin that shear and point it down toward the ground, and you can have yourself what we saw today down there. Let's talk about this hour-by-hour forecast and let you plan ahead as we take a look at these storms. If you see anything out there, just let Hutch know right here, but we'll go ahead and keep our eyes on the radar. But what I do want to do is load up the model forecast. This is going to be your forecast update real quick. I appreciate you, Robert. Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks, Jen. Good to see you on board as well. Hey, do any of you have graduating seniors? Are you going to graduation parties this weekend? Things are looking a heck of a lot quieter, but this batch of showers and rain will continue through the night and into the morning, but it's going to exit fairly rapidly once these northwest winds take hold. Let's go back here. Let's go here. I'm talking to myself. Sorry about that. As long as I don't answer myself, right? Okay, so now we're going to look at our weather conditions and the measurements from across the area. Okay, here we go. What we're going to look for here on this map is the change in wind direction across the area. So what we're looking at is these southerly winds right here from Detroit Lakes and southeasterly flow. That's the ground winds here ahead of the storm system. The low pressure system is right over you in Valley City. So these winds up north are more easterly. You see that in Crookston, Grand Forks, east-southeast winds. And then out over here in the Devil's Lake Basin, look at this. Jamestown, your winds northwesterly. That is the center of low pressures right over Valley City, right over Tower City right now. That's where the low pressure center is. So we got this lift, thunderstorms forming in the heat of the day, and it isn't a lot of heat. 61 your temperature in Becker County for you folks in Detroit Lakes. Let's see if that temperature is out there in the Fergus Falls area right now too. Okay. The cool front has moved through your area. The warm front's on the other side of you. So that warmer air out towards Bluffton, Wadena, 63 on the other side. We're in the 50s. I'm expecting these. Look at Carrington. Are you kidding me, Carrington? It's 37 degrees in the Carrington area right now. I knew temperatures would be falling this afternoon, but I didn't expect that brief peak of sun. Laura, Sabin, clear. Okay, so this is the warm sector down here. I'm going to circle it for you. This area behind this little area of thunderstorms, that's the warm sector. That area there is warm. Look at it. It's 39 right now. 39 degrees down here, just off for you folks in Oaks. Oaks is 39, and it's 59 in Wahpeton. 59 in Breckenridge, Wahpeton, Sabin, same thing, and it's 39 in Oaks. That's right. Tonight's temperatures are going to be cold throughout the region. We're talking about a potential for some freezing temperatures, or definitely mid 30s out there. Frost is definitely going to be a possibility. Let's look at your forecast. Let's go to the model. We're going to take a look at the model for tonight. Let's look at the hourly updated version. Model's still painting some snowflakes out here. Let's take a look and see after we look at this model run what we're seeing. Are you seeing any flakes at all mixing in up in north central North Dakota? Are you seeing that up there, up in that area, Botno? If you're in Towner County, there's a chance for a few flakes even now with temperatures in the 30s. Okay, let's look at the hour-by-hour forecast with this model. See how far it goes out here for you first. Far enough. Okay, let me load this in. Okay, here we go. Pause. All right, let's step through this puppy. Let me change this so you can see the clock. Here's your model guidance. Oh, wow. Did you hear that lightning? I'm in South Moorhead and the house window shook a little bit. Okay, mother-in-law got a lot of snow in Drake. Ben, thank you. Glendon is clear. Here's your forecast. Do you see this model? It shows the thunderstorms moving through right now. They're going to continue to drift to the north and east. So check this out. They're going to be making their way into Ada, Mahnomen, Nadawash, you folks by about 4:30 according to this. And then the chance of flakes and snow will continue into the evening because there's 30s behind this system, folks, like we were talking about yesterday. I'm from Breckenridge, Wahpeton. Was the tornado on the ground? James, I see your post here. It's kind of grayed out, so not everybody can see it. There was a tornado briefly on the ground just south of Kindred. There is no longer a tornado warning. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire by the National Weather Service at 3:15. I'm watching the storms. Hi, Abby. Good to have you on board. Thank you so very much. Let's check this out. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so showers and thunderstorms will move through Polk County as we go into the 5 o'clock hour, and then they move up to the north and kind of fall apart. We're going to have this little dry area here, but this is the backside of the storm, the cold side. Our wind is going to shift, and it's going to get gusty for your graduation events this evening. Moorhead's graduation, 7 o'clock at the new high school, and it's going to be a little breezy out there. I don't expect a tornado threat tonight in Fargo for the graduation because this is the main event. This is the warm front with this little circle system working its way through. Behind it is the cold air piling in. Felton is clear. Yeah, Felton is well, look at that radar again. This is the forecast for tonight. Those storms are moving into the Felton area here in the next few minutes. So we'll let you know. Are you reporting clear, Betty? Because I'll take you back to the live radar here in just a second. Do you see the batch of snow up north? This lasts until 8 to 10 o'clock tonight. Showers last until 2 a.m. in the morning through northwest Minnesota, and by the morning, they're gone. So tomorrow looks pretty good. I'm going to go back to another model run here 1 hour ago. It goes out farther, so I can tell you what you can expect. We have a graduation party here at the Johnson household celebrating my youngest's graduation from high school. And here we go. Check this out tomorrow. This is Saturday morning, 8 a.m., and the showers are gone. I can't rule out a renegade sprinkle moving in from the south, another round of showers and storms in the 6 o'clock hour. Could they be severe? There's a chance, but I think we're going to be so cool tomorrow. I'm going to put that as a pretty low chance. There'll be some spin in the atmosphere with that next wave making its way through. So I'll reevaluate that here. But showers and thunderstorms tomorrow late. You're going to get through your graduation parties. It looks like it's going to be nice. Than what we saw today with buckets of rain falling. Hutch has still got to mow the lawn. I got to invite maybe a couple of goats over here. If you know where I could get a hold of a couple of goats to help eat some wet grass around here, that would be great. Because my mower ain't going to like that at all. All right, that's a look at what's going on right now. Now let's take a look at the radar. So your forecast looks like this, and I'm going to pop up my forecast graphic here. And, excuse me while I look for all this stuff. I really appreciate your grace with me because I was out decorating the garage and the whole family's out here helping get things ready to go. And all of a sudden, sirens started going off as the sky got dark. And even as a meteorologist, I don't sit at the radar all day. I was not expecting this. Here's a quick look at your 7-day planner brought to you by my friends at Precision Lawn and Landscaping. Today's temperatures falling from the 50s now. We're going to the 40s, 36 tonight in Fargo. I think that's going to be a solid forecast. We still have temperatures colder than that out to the west right now. I'm loading up the radar here while I'm talking about this. The latest Temperatures for the weekend look to be 63 to 73 degrees as we go through the day tomorrow. An isolated shower cannot be ruled out for your Saturday. On Sunday, it looks like a little bit warmer and near 70. We stay there for Monday. So the 3-day weekend looking dandy, delightful, but spotty showers. You saw the showers on Saturday will mainly be to the south. We'll take a look at those again. It does look like next week we're talking about some temperatures making a rebound, but not all models agree, so keep that in mind. All right, couple of questions. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Teresa. Thanks for all the stars out there. Kim, thank you. Bonnie, thanks for tagging. It's always great to have your word of mouth here. Let's go right back to the radar. We'll get you caught up with what's going on right now. And we have a line of thunderstorms from just south of Grand Forks. We're talking about Hatton. Okay, this is looks like an area of low pressure, and we got that Hillsborough area getting ready to get socked with some very heavy rain, some lightning. Grandin. Now you're asking about Felton. Let's look at Glendon Felton here up to the north. And as we take a look, it does look like we got the showers and thunderstorms heading your way. Notice this big area right here in and around Sabin. That is the where the tornado was. Now that storm has weakened substantially. The hail risk has gone way down. Let's take a look at the rotation in the storm and we'll analyze it together and we'll see if it's still spinning a little bit. Okay, little meteorology for you. You always are looking for reds and greens next to each other, right? We got reds and greens next to each other, but they're situated let me see if I can explain this nicely here. Let's go with this. We got red here, green here, but the radar can only measure wind speed toward and away from the radar along the beam. So this wind right here is blowing away from the radar. This green wind is blowing toward the radar. So that's not spin necessarily, that's rolling. Because the wind farther away from the radar here in the green is higher off the ground. So what we have over the Sabin area and rural areas off to the West Sabin is rolling air like this. That's what the radar is showing. It's not showing a rotation like this. If you took the green and the red and you put them this way and you had green on this side and red on this side, that's the kind of spin that could produce that possible funnel toward the ground. So we're looking at rolling of the air. Now, the new scan has just come in. Do you see that? And now the green, let me erase my pencil marks here. Bloop, bloop. Now we got green here showing wind this way. And we still have red here showing wind blowing this way. It's rolling in the atmosphere, not necessarily what we call gate to gate or right next to each other, red and green. So there's some spin in this storm, but this right now is oriented along the horizon or horizontal spin. That's what Hutch sees. And that's the experience of working in this area, that our weather, if you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes, it'll change. Now, as we take a look at the storms up here near Grandin, what you're looking at, you've got reds next to greens. What does that mean? Well, look at this, and we'll play it for you. These thunderstorms that are moving through do have some outflow coming out of them. The rain comes out, the hail comes out, and we're looking at a little boundary there of outflow. And along the Grandin area here, where we have greens next to red, where we have a outflow boundary coming through, we can get some brief spin-ups out there. So it isn't impossible that we see that. Here's the beautiful thing. Let's go to the Mayville radar and look at this storm. This one's moving north toward Reynolds and not far from you folks in Thompson, okay? This is very close to the radar. The radar is at the green dot. The red here is very bright. How fast are those winds? Let's take a look at the wind speeds. This will be a great estimate, exact estimate of what's just above the ground as far as wind speeds go. Do you see the bright reds here? So this storm is burping out 45 to 50 mile per hour winds just off the ground. This is below severe criteria. So the National Weather Service meteorologist, Hutch Johnson, we're all looking to see if these storms are producing areas where the wind could be upwards of 60 miles per hour. It's got to be 58 miles per hour. That's a severe storm. Hail's got to be 1 inch in diameter. That's a severe storm. I don't see the huge hail potential from these, but what I am seeing is some very gusty winds, particularly from this storm. Now, these winds, because the radar beam points up off the ground, you see this? It's pointing up. So we're measuring these winds above the ground. The 45 mile per hour wind you see here is not necessarily on the ground, but it's really close to it. Okay. So it's still producing, there's 47, 50 mile per hour winds crossing Highway 25. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. That looks like Highway 25 to me. Yeah. Okay. And then down here, we got still some 45 mile per hour winds in the bright spot there. This storm, then, Hutch would say, is going to be very capable of making winds upwards of 50 miles per hour as it blows into southern Grand Forks County. That's a windy thunderstorm there as it collapses through. So you're looking at windy thunderstorms right now. They're not severe. Are there some areas of spin? Yes. Look at this. Do you see all the green out here? It looks like a Christmas tree, right? All that green is showing raindrops that are blowing toward the radar. So here's our northwest cold wind moving in, right? And this is going to cause your temperatures in all these areas to be like Carrington. Do you see Carrington's temperature right here? 37 degrees. This air in Carrington that's 37 is moving to Cooperstown. Cooperstown, you've probably seen your temperature drop here over the last hour or so. So our temperatures are going down. It's 61 at Moorhead's Airport right now. 61. It's 36 in Harvey. So this cold air is wrapping around. It's coming our way. Hailing in Hillsboro 5 minutes ago. Let's go to the latest on the radar. Thank you, Kari, for that. Can you tell me, Kari, exactly or an estimate of how big the hail was? I'm reading something here from Delin. Bottom corner to left of screen or to right to send more. Okay, I'm not sure. That might be an explanation to somebody about how to send stars. Thank you for everybody sending stars. I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets the information that's important here with regards to the forecast. This line of thunderstorms is stout. It was energized by the brief break of sun that we got. That energy allowed for a spin up in the atmosphere. Thanks, Jen, for appreciating the explanation. I love that I have the opportunity to continue to answer your questions. It looks like I've gotten to most of them now. So I am not seeing, let me go ahead and erase my pencil here. I am not seeing areas of tight rotation. I'm seeing very gusty winds right now making their way in towards Buxton and making its way into the Reynolds and Thompson areas. Okay, let's go ahead and time out for you folks when this wind is going to get to you. So let's go ahead and go over here and look at this thing. This Hatton area, it looks like a spin, like a semicircle. That thing is just kind of swirling in. See it? It's just kind of oop like that. That is just an area of outflow. That is blowing up into southern parts of Grand Forks County. That doesn't necessarily mean there's a tornado. Yes, it was, Hutch. I wouldn't let me share a screenshot of the bottom to show how to send stars. Oh, I see. Thanks, Delin. I appreciate you guys for helping each other help Hutch, because it really does help in a big way as I continue to grow and advance here. Now, let's take a look at some of you folks and who's in the line of some showers and thunderstorms. I'm going to turn on a bunch of screen analysis tools here for me. So pardon me while I do that. Bing, ding, ding. Let's turn them all on. Let's go here. Okay. Here we go. So this Hatton storm, you see that? It's heading right towards Grand Forks. That little line tells us going from Hatton towards Grand Forks. Let's take a look at what the radar says, how fast it's moving. It's moving northeast at about 29 miles per hour. So Hutch gets his analysis tool out. I draw a line. I come up here. It's about how far as a crow flies away from Grand Forks. We're looking at southwest Grand Forks in 25 miles. Okay. It's moving at 29 miles per hour. It's a little less than an hour away. Will it still be strong? I don't know. But there is a trend towards some weakening echoes with that particular storm. Here's a look at where it is right now. I'm going to grab the leading edge of this instead of where the dot is, because that's when the rain will start moving in. So let's go. It's moving this way towards Grand Forks, and we're going to go at 33 miles per hour. Remember, Hutch likes to estimate a little high to give you a little extra time. Never hurts to have a little extra time. Holmes, in about 2 to 3 minutes, it's over you. Merrifield, 25 minutes or so. In Grand Forks, I said an hour, but the leading edge of the storm will be there in about 33 minutes. So that's why I'm analyzing from the front edge of the storm. So East Grand Forks, about 35 minutes away. Look at the time up here, 35 minutes away. So you add 35 to 40, you're going to pass the 20-minute mark. So it's about 10, 15 minutes after the hour. So that's a look at the direction of that particular storm. Now let's take a look at this cell that's moving right into Buxton here. Okay. That particular storm is going to be making its way. Let's look at the speed of it here. The latest estimate, 20 miles per hour to 31. We're going to average that at about 28 miles per hour. It's moving in the general direction of Buxton. You're probably feeling the wind from that in Buxton now. So here we go. 28 miles per hour. Bing, calculate, carry the 1. And Buxton, it'll be in your area near about that 6-minute mark or whatever. So about 3:45, it'll be right near you. So now let's move south just a little bit, and we'll take a look at this line of storms that's blowing towards Caledonia, Shelley, Halstead, and look at this, the Grand area. This one could be some hail on it. Okay, so let's go back. Let me pause this so I can get my dots back on here. This one could have some hail. Let me take a look at a couple things here. This one north of Grandin looks like it's intensified a little bit. And again, like I was talking about earlier, there's a chance for some of these to produce some hail. Upwards of, say, penny sized, that'd be about 3/4 of an inch. Thanks, Val. Tornado sirens go off, immediately logs into Hutch to get the details. Thank you, Bethany. I sure appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely have some hail producing cells. They're kind of highlighted here in the blues. This isn't the huge hail like we saw with the storms along the South Dakota border last night, though. That's the good thing. But let's go ahead and time this out for you folks. If you're in the path of this one out here, this one's pretty strong. It's between Grandin and Kelso. It's moving right towards Halstead. So if you're in Halstead, okay, get your sugar beets ready because they're going to possibly get some hail from this cell. How fast is it moving? Close to 28 miles per hour. It's moving right towards you in Halstead. It's moving out towards, well, let me do that again. Let's go here. Now, this is for the hail core, not the leading edge of the rain. So we're going to estimate 28 miles per hour. And let's take a look at this one. Halstead within 18 minutes or so. That puts it at just before 4 o'clock. So there is a hailstorm. Well, you know what? That hail core looks like it's moving a little bit more north than right towards Halstead. Sometimes the radar estimates the movement because the storm is developing and it looks like it's moving one direction when it's really moving another. So let Hutch look at this. Yeah, that's moving more north. That's moving more towards Shelley. So now taking a look at that information, we'll reassess where it's going. Halstead, I think you're going to be missing this one. Yeah, it's going. Now the radar updates. Now it says Shelley's going to get it. Now let's go up here. Boom. So now the radar is agreeing with old Hutch. There we go. Shelley within about 23 minutes. So add 23 minutes to that. That's 4 o'clock. Yeah. So just at 4 o'clock, there's a hailstorm making its way toward the Shelley area. Let's take a look at the radar estimates of how much hail and what size it could be. The hail probability is 30%. There's a 10% probability that hail could be severe. So it's not likely to be severe. And again, the size of the hail estimated by Doppler radar, 0.01 inches. I don't think it's that small. That's some pretty decent sized hail there. I mean, we're talking maybe half-inch diameter size or so, not 0.01 inches. I think that radar scan or estimate is out to lunch there just a little bit. So some hail moving there. How about Hendrum? You got a system working right through your area right now. Let me go ahead and turn all these tools off here. This is moving and skirting right along the Pearly Hendrum area, right along Highway 75. This one has a chance at moving right into the Halstead area. It's moving north at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. So let's estimate this one moving into Halstead. 28. Calculate. Shazam. Halstead, 13 minutes from this storm making its way in towards your area. Shelley, you're going to get hit by one and then another, it looks like. See how those storms are kind of moving together here? They're kind of not congealing, but they could look like they're mixing together. All right, Marsha, I'm reading yours. Out of curiosity, I checked channel. Oh, before the sirens going off. Keeping updated. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody tries to do their best. Hutch's weather doesn't have programming to worry about. I can just sit here and talk to you and answer your questions. And that's what I love, serving you. Okay, so that's what we do. Thank you so very, very much. It's just west of Hendrum. A lot of thunder. Okay, just west of Hendrum. Yep, that's what the radar shows. Awesome. That means our radar data here is right on time. So, well, let me clear this out. I got to clear out some of my tools and we're going to back up and see what's going on out here. With the storm that was producing the tornado, did produce a brief tornado. It's moving over Glendon right now. You can see is really falling apart. There's not a lot left of this puppy. Some heavy rain moving into the Glendon area right now. You can see that. Holly, you got a little cell moving towards you, non-severe. Look at this. Looking out for southwestern Becker County. If you're on the Cormorant Lakes chain, right in Cormorant, you're getting yourself a little gully washer right now. That'd be a rain shower. It's pretty heavy. Nothing too haily, maybe some small soft hail. Should we expect bad weather, Frazee Perham? Here's the story. I wasn't expecting this to happen, but here's what did happen. Out ahead of this fancy line of showers and storms, and I'm going to draw a circle. You see your temperatures are in the 60s in Detroit Lakes, Wadena, Staples, 63 right now. Park Rapids, you're sunning and 57 degrees there. This little area had a brief period of sun and beautiful weather. We had it in Fargo-Moorhead, right? Hutch is out working, getting ready for graduation party, getting the garage cleaned up, I had help. And all of a sudden the sky got dark and the sirens started going off. I'm like, what? This is what happened. That little bit of sunshine, which is in this area. So let's go look and see if that sunshine is still there, shall we? Let's take a peek. Here we go. Live look at the latest satellite view. Yep, we do have. It's loading up. So let it load up here just one moment. There it comes. Okay. Anywhere that you see the clear skies where it's not white, look at the spiral working its way through. That's the low pressure center that's going to be moving right over the Fargo-Moorhead area right now. So the low pressure center is moving right over us. We have a warm front that's extended where you see the bright white clouds that are moving through Minnesota and through the Sabin area and heading to DL. Anywhere that gets this brief period of sunshine, that sunshine heats the air. So this is a very simplistic version of it. The sunshine heats the air. Hot air likes to rise. That hot air has a bucket of moisture in it, right, from all the rain that we've got. So we got hot, humid air rising. That heat added just enough energy to the atmosphere to go poof, and we got ourselves a neat little tornado out of the deal. Looks like there's some funnel clouds showing up out there by the Pillsbury area. And so a funnel cloud is different. This is like a little rope-shaped one is what I'm seeing there. Okay. The National Weather Service. I was just saying that this whole area where we got the sunshine kind of peeking down through and it's destabilizing the atmosphere. Here's what the Weather Service just said a minute ago. Here's the quick update. The whole line is capable of producing a tornado, but the greatest chances are going to be where the CAPE is maximized. What is CAPE? That's the energy to push the air up, like the hot air balloon energy. The faster the hot air balloon goes up, the better your chances of seeing that rolling air that we're seeing on the radar turn vertical and become a funnel cloud, okay, and possibly a tornado. I don't think we have a great risk of tornadoes tonight, but it isn't zero. That risk isn't zero. So risk will continue through at least around 5 o'clock before diminishing. So it's now 4 o'clock. We got about an hour of this nonsense left, but I'll tell you what, as I'm going to point at the radar and it's not behind me. So we looked at the satellite, and the satellite's showing that this area here has a brief clearing zone. If your temperatures jump up into those 60s, the air is unstable enough to produce fast rising pockets of air. Those fast rising pockets of air are spinning just a little bit, and they're bending the spin down towards the ground. So let's take a look at these. I don't want to talk through and miss something for you. Let me continue to analyze these. The strongest cluster of storms is between Mayville and Thompson. They do look like they have this little Q shape to them. There's these little, you can almost see the rotation of the storm because it's right around an area of low pressure. But the strongest cell is on the far south side with the lightning. We sometimes can look for lightning because some of the strongest cells are producing the most abundant lightning. And that's moving right over the Hendrum to Hallstatt area. And it does look like it has a little shear. So let Hutch look and we'll analyze this. And I'm looking, and yeah, we got a little bit of weak shear. So a little meteorology. We've got reds. This red is really just wind blowing out of these thunderstorms. It's air blowing away from the radar. This is air blowing toward the radar. But you see this little area of white line in between? When you have a white line in between the green and reds, that's what we call zero velocity. That means we don't have spin with the wind shear right next to each other. It's broad. So this whole area has this broad area of weak shear around it. But this area down here is a little bit more interesting. You got two. See this little area right here? It's a little cutout right by Hallstatt. That's very weak spin, but it is where the wind in the red dots is blowing away from the radar right here. And this green is blowing toward the radar. And that's right next to each other. So this area has a little weak spin. It's not an alarming amount of spin as a meteorologist who's looked at this stuff, but I have seen weaker spin produce spin ups. This is a little stronger right here in this area. So out here by County Highway 2, north and south of Halstead, as the crow flies, it's located about 3 miles to the southwest of Halstead. That area is showing a little bit of spin right now. This is just what we watch in meteorology. This area right here, moving in the general direction of Halstead, does have a little spin in it. Doesn't mean there's a tornado on the ground, but it could produce one of them spin ups or funnel clouds that we've been seeing. Let me go back to your questions here. Make sure we got this. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you. Ada and Gary, Rita says. Ada and Gary. If you're asking about those areas, yeah, the showers and thunderstorms are heading in the general direction of Ada and Gary right now. Here's Ada and Gary. We got Gary in line too, so that's up here. These areas are going to see the showers and the thunderstorms making their way in. Let me get back to a regular radar view here so you can see how far they're out. Ada might get lucky. See how there's this little gap in between the storms right here? They're splitting around Ada right now. There's some more here forming out in Cass County. Those may swing up into southwestern Norman County and impact that Purley area once again in Hendrum. This storm here, though, is the strongest. It does have some signs of some rotation. And if you're in the Halstead area, this one does have some weak spin in this little pocket that you see right here. So Hutch is watching that. There's another little pocket right here, right? So there are some areas in this storm that's showing some hot pockets of spin, not real spinny spin, not real strong spin, but weak spin or shear in the atmosphere. Look at Shelly here. Shelly's got the Caledonia, a little bit of hail potential from that little pink cell that you see there. That little pink reflectivity is fairly high. That one could be producing some hail as well. So these storms right now, as the crow flies, you're asking about Gary, you're asking about Ada. You're kind of in between storms right now. So there's nothing upwind from you right now that's got me alarmed for the near term future. This stuff out here near Argusville, that's going to be pushing in your general direction here as we go through the next little bit. Thunderstorms are hit and miss. Some areas will get them, others not so much. Thanks so much. You're welcome, Julie. Appreciate you. Soft rain in Pelican Lake, on Pelican Lake. Thanks for the report. As we look down here into Lakes Country, it's moving right into Detroit Lakes right now. Areas west, Lake Eunice, Pelican Lake, getting some light showers making its way through. But if you're just west of Detroit Lakes, so Audubon, there's going to be a heavier shower. Oh, Deb, you're the very best. Thank you so much. I'm blushing. We all know where to get weather information. Thank you so much for sharing stars. I thank you even more for sharing the good word, that this is where you can get the areas, let's just put very comprehensive coverage. It's essentially a north wind and some blowing wind, gusty winds, and falling temperatures in Carrington. If you're just joining Hutch, it's in the 30s in Carrington. It's 37 degrees. It's 38 in Devil's Lake. Let's go up to the north here. How cold are we getting? 32. It's freezing in Belcourt right now. Okay, so now let's go take a look at this. We're just going to deviate from our path a little bit because I did ask, and you did report to me that some folks got some snow. Now, Hutch has been talking about snow for a couple days, and you probably thought I had too many peanuts or something, but I didn't. And let's see if we got anything showing up, and especially late in the day. Really hard to believe that we'd be getting some snowflakes. Oh my goodness, let's take a look at it. We got road reports up here of slippery roads. Let's go to this one. Oh no! Oh, I hate when this happens. Okay, this is Botno there, eh? There's Botno, and there's the snow. I'm saved. This is just ridiculous. Okay, Botno, I'm sorry. Yep, you got it. There is some wet moisture that has become white moisture, and it's all the way up there in Botno. Look at this. Rain showers here in Dunseith. The heavy rain for you, that area, soaking fields. Let's see how far south the snow is right now. Oh, there's some there in Walford. Yep, we got some snow showing up on the ground in Walford. See it on that roadside edge? You can see it? Oh, you know what? I'm a little excited, and I'm excited because the forecast verified. Oh, rugby. Look at this, rugby. Okay, Hutch was not wrong. I said 0 to 2 inches of slush, and that's what we got. It's mainly accumulating on the grassy areas out here. Ugh. Blech. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little sick in the back of my throat. Look how beautiful and green it is in Leeds. No snow evident there. How about Minot? Let's check out Minot. Okay. This is at the base. We're looking pretty good as far as no snow accumulation there. But you go north of Minot, West Hope looking pretty good, but it's right up at the border, right? Right up at the border. I'm seeing snowflakes on the ground. I'm kind of perusing some other. Let me know if you got snowflakes, Fessenden. Harvey, you're going to be first to get some of this cold snot, cold shot, not cold snot. I don't want you getting cold snot this time of year. It's too nice to go out and run around with cold snot. There we go. We got some wet ground out there, and that's very soggy fields in Langdon. Cavalier. No, oh, look at this. That's got to be just low clouds and fog. It's not snowing. Okay. Just heavy rain, right? Look at that truck is driving through the slush. Let me read your reports. Sister, at Lake Metagoshi, been snowing since this morning. Forecast verified, Rebecca. If you joined for Hutch's weather the other day, like it's going to start in the morning, it could last into the afternoon up north. That's pretty cool. Thank you for your reports. That makes me feel good that the forecast wasn't out to lunch. I don't like when my forecast is out to lunch. I actually lose sleep worrying about my forecast. Hailing away in Hendrum. Thanks, Jessica. Let me know the size of the largest hailstones when it's safe to go outside. We'll get back to that radar here. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe this. This is unbelievable. I have a pic of the Peace Gardens from this morning, and they are winter wonderland. Yeah, oh my goodness. And this is what we're seeing up north. Okay, so if you're in Belcourt, if you're in Botno, if you are in Walhalla, you're going to have a decent chance at seeing a few flakes mixing in. How about our viewers up in Winkler? Are you getting some snow showers there? Your temperature at the ground in Winkler is 41-ish or so not too bad. Pea-size hail, Jessica says. Pea-size hail. I'll pass that along the Weather Service right now. Jessica, I'm looking for your town again. Hendrum. Okay, let's go ahead. Pea-size hail reported in Hendrum. Pardon me while I type and talk. It's hard to type and talk at the same time. All right, there we go. All right, let's take a look. Let's get back to the severe weather coverage and see if there's any more storms that are showing the signs of rotation. What's causing this is the instability or the more potent air that is developing because of that break in the clouds. That produced heat in the atmosphere. That heat produced rising air in the atmosphere. Cold air coming in behind it caused an area of destabilization. That's basically unsettled air, and that unsettled air created this line of thunderstorms with some spin in it. Okay, so funnel clouds not going to be out of the question. If we do get tornadoes to touch down, they're going to be possible. You want to take warnings seriously. Please, please, please. We already had one make contact with the ground. Where? If you missed it, right here where the triangle is, just south of Kindred by not that far. It did touch down, according to those observing, a little bit of dust. But we've been so wet, it's hard to pick up dust right now. We got mud. So there's not going to be a lot of debris visible when these things hit the ground because we're so soggy. That's where the storm that is now making its way towards Hawley and through Glendon, Felton right now, making its way towards Ulen, that storm no longer has that risk of real strong spin. Let's take a look at the line of storms. They stretch from Detroit Lakes, Lake Park, Hitterdal. We have another Argusville cell that's developing, but they're all weaker. Do you see that? These colors are orange and just really heavy rainers with some small hail potential. That's it. The main event now is right here. So as we look, it's from Hendrum. Okay, it's from just outside of Ada. We were talking about Ada's going to get missed. This cell's just forming now in that sunny air. Boom. You got a little hailer outside of Ada right now, and that's how far away from Ada is this thing? Oh boy. 3 miles. Okay, so it's heading in the general direction of you. Looks like it'll be just north of town in Ada there, crossing Highway 9, somewhere in that general vicinity. Hendrum, though, the hail reported there, pea-size hail. Thank you for your report. Appreciate it very much. Halstead, we got some thunderstorms working their way through there. Wouldn't be surprised if there's some small hail north of town as that system's pushing through. That one, though, just by watching the radar, could have a little bit of spin with it. So let's turn on the spin machine and take a look. And yeah, there is some shear spin in the atmosphere. Specifically, it's right by the red dot that you see here. That little area, that's where we're seeing just a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, where the greens and the reds are right next to each other. I'll get my pencil out. That's right in this vicinity here. Another little area of possible spin just outside of Hendrum from that particular thunderstorm making its way through that area. It's weak. Doesn't mean there's a tornado on the ground. It just means these storms have some spin in them. And once in a while, they can produce funnel clouds And once in a while, they can produce tornadoes. Let's look at the wind speeds. Remember the storms moving in towards Thompson were producing some pretty big burps of wind? Let's check them out. Oh my. Okay, so you got these bright colors here moving into Thompson. These are just downwind from the radar and along the radar's beam. So the radar shoots out a beam. If the wind is blowing parallel to the beam, we can measure it. If it's moving perpendicular to the beam, we can't even measure it. It's going to show up as zero speed. The radar can only measure wind that's blowing toward the radar or away from the radar. That's it. This wind moving past Reynolds now is blowing exactly away from the radar. Exactly. Moving into Neilsville. So I'm going to query the computer, say, how fast are these winds? 45 to 50 mile per hour winds, but it's above the ground by a good half mile or so. So that energy can mix its way down to the ground with rain, okay? Outflow or downdraft from the storm. So we could see some 45 to 55 mile per hour winds possible in a couple of these storms. Let's check out this one moving towards Neilsville here. That's 50 mile per hour winds measured off the ground there as well. Right now, the risk is this. Gusty straight line winds from these storms, the main threat. Some small hail from a few other cells, and some brief spin-ups will be possible with these storms as they work their way through. The risk of spin-ups is only going to be in effect for less than an hour. So here's what Hutch is going to do. I'm going to step away for a little bit, but I'll keep watching. I gotta make sure that the kids getting ready for the graduation coming up here in a bit. That's right. My youngest kid graduating high school, Moorhead High. We'll see you there if you're going. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sharing the good word that Hutch is still here doing the weather. Thank you for your stars that you're sharing. They had a tornado touchdown in Kindred earlier that Bobby says, yep, there was a tornado touchdown. There's a little red icon right here on Hutch's screen. You see that little red triangle? I'll show you the report of the tornado touchdown. It was brief. It was in a field, and we can show you this. Here's the tornado data. The report time was at 2:53, 3 miles southeast of Kindred in Richland County, and there's some video showing a tornado on the ground. So there's proof that there was a tornado on the ground in Kindred that was moving right towards Oxbow, and as it made its way across the county line, the spin was still there. There were still funnel cloud pictures across the region from this system as it made its way through, and that one was very interesting. So that's what's going on. I'm going to step away. The weather will be quieter, but colder and windy tonight. Expect quieter weather for your day tomorrow. Hutch Johnson here. Thank you so very much for your support, and I will be back if needed here. Otherwise, these thunderstorms are out of